Hello everyone, welcome back to 70s and 80s talk. Today we're going back to 1986. I'm going to be reviewing another Thin Lizzy album, which is Thunder and Lightning. I think it's one of their biggest albums. I mean, there's a lot of hits on there. I mean, if you get a greatest hits Thin Lizzy album, a lot of the songs on this album are on the greatest hits albums. Chart-wise, it reached number 4 in the UK's, and what shocked me the most was in the US Billboard 200, it reached 159. It deserved to be better than that. Status-wise, it's silver in the UK. Of how many albums have been sold. I think this is one of the albums that have aged well, that have grown in popularity with time. I think, anyway. So album artwork, yeah. I mean, it's like a thunder, lightning storm, lightning with the guitar. It's appropriate, I guess. I don't know what all this white stuff is there. I don't know. Is it just like rocks or something? Or water? Oh, maybe it's water. I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe it's something like pointing towards, I don't know, some type of gods or something. I don't know. I'm just going to move on to the actual album review because that's what I'm here for. Okay, so we have 9 songs on here. Is that right? Oh, there is. Why didn't they put 10 songs on? So, the first song is Thunder and Lightning, which is the name of the album. It's a very heavy song. It's very quick. I really love this song. I listen to it every so often. I have no idea what Phil is saying in the song, apart from Thunder and Lightning, pretty much, though. But I love the sound of it. It's a real headbanger for sure. When you want to forget about everything, listen to this one. John Sykes is on this album. The guitar playing is insane, and it just gets better. It's incredible. When you can hear the lyrics, they do go hand in hand very well, though. Even though most of the time I don't know what is being said. Phil is singing very fast, but it's not like rap or anything, which I don't listen to. So I love this. I'm sure there's prominent keys in this as well. Or maybe it's a guitar that's sounding like keys, but actually later on there is keys in the album, so it probably is keys. Number 2 is This Is the One. I hadn't heard this one. The vocals, the way Phil sings, reminds me of Killer on the Loose, Thin Lizzy song, for sure. I need to stop saying for sure. The drums are the standout in this song. The guitar is very electric. There's a pause in vocals where the guitar dominates. Then we go back to the vocals. It's fine as a song. Something I need to listen to more, I think. Number 3 is The Sun Goes Down. This song's great. This is one of me and my dad's favourites. I really love this song. It's quite spooky, eerie almost, if you want to call it that. The bass is great. It's quite calm to start with. Yeah, the way... I mean, the lyrics, when Phil's singing, it comes and goes, she knows it all too well, but when all is said and done, the sun goes down. It's like, do-do. It's just like the little bits in this song which just make it very well produced, actually. And I don't even think it's anything complicated either. I think it's quite simple of how they've done it. I really like how Phil particularly sings the word done. The other members also sing the line sun goes down. The sun goes down, I should say. Vocally, I think it's a great song. It sets a scene. I can imagine a story unfolding as Phil sings this one. It's one you want to sing along to. It's quite easy to sing along to as well. The guitar is screaming at times, but then it goes off into more of a deeper tone, which is fantastic to see that variation in sound. I think it would have been interesting if the song did go off, because it feels like when you listen to the song, it's building to something, but it never does go off. It would have been interesting to see that, but it's not going to happen. But yeah. Number 4, The Holy War. What a song. The bass to start, the drums, then you know that guitar is coming. And what a piece of guitar it is. I love playing this one when I'm doing my speed walking around the village, as I do. Not that I've done that recently because it's been raining every day. It's spot on. It's spot on for what I like listen to. One I like sing along to as well. It's really heavy, fierce, almost intimidating, in your face. It's fantastic. The guitar, I've got to say though, it's absolutely stunning. And I wrote something similar to Whitesnake, I'd say. And of course, John Sykes is on this album, and John Sykes was in Whitesnake. So I was like, oh yeah. So there's a part where Phil speaks more than sings, and I'm sure when I actually was doing this review, I'd only realised then there's actually a female vocalist in there as well, and I'm pretty sure I haven't noticed that before, and I've listened to this song loads. You got Phil's voice layered. He's like singing, and then it's on him singing again on top. Great lyrics. The bass is fantastic. At times, it's just the bass and the drums. That's how it starts, actually. Yeah, it's an amazing song. Number 5, Cold Sweat. I'm sure this is like a fan favourite. I'm sure it is. I love it. Heavy rock. Brian Downey Mind. What a drummer. What a drummer. This album really shows his talent as a drummer. I really wish I could have been in the crowd in the 1980s when they were playing this song. Imagine it. I mean, some of you might have been there. If you had that experience, let me know how it was. I'm assuming it would have been brilliant. It really would. But all I've got is YouTube videos to see what it was like back then. Yeah, the quickness of how Phil sings Stone Cold Sober and Stone Cold Sweat running down the back of my neck. Like, it's almost like a tongue twister, isn't it? It's brilliant. I have noticed when he sings that line, the way he sings Sweat and Neck, he sings it the same way. He's such a clever vocalist, Phil. He really, really was. Yeah. His voice was so unique. It really was. No one like him. The ending is great in the song with the drums and guitar and sync. So number 6, Someday She Is Going to Hit Back. I hadn't heard this one. It's like you're at a live concert, this one. I mean, I know you get live albums. It was a bit similar to that. Got backing vocals in there, which I like. Sometimes backing vocals I can find a bit too much, but this is fine. It's quite fast-paced. You got keys, which I haven't really heard that much keys in Thin Lizzy songs, but this one, it's quite obvious that it's keys. Number 7, Baby Please Don't Go. It's totally toned down in comparison to the other songs. I almost want it to be louder though. You got keys again, not as obvious as the last song. But then I actually thought maybe I had heard it. The chorus did sound familiar, but maybe I listened to it ages ago, maybe not much. Number 8, Bad Habits. I hadn't heard this song. But I think I'd heard of it, but not listened to it, sort of thing. It's great. It really is. It's modern sounding. It almost reminds me of 5 Seconds of Summer for some reason. More of a heavier version of their stuff. Again, Phil's voice, how he says, yeah. It just adds that in there, and there's an hour he does. When Bad Habits have been, that line, 2 words, whatever you want to call it, is being sung. It's so catchy. Phil really had a way like nobody else to sing. He was effortless in a way. But brought such creativity when he sung. It was just amazing. It really was. I think this song though is actually quite different to typical Thin Lizzy sound. I do think there is different categories of Thin Lizzy sound though, which I think I mentioned in my last video of the Jailbreak album review. You know, I'm going to talk a bit about Phil here. I know I talked about him in the Jailbreak review, but it just makes me think, like, if he hadn't died, what would have happened? Would Thin Lizzy have continued? Would they? I don't know. Like, what would have happened? But I don't know. Listening to this song, I thought maybe they would have gone, if they continued, they would have gone down more of this route, like more of a poppy rock, maybe. I don't know. But it just makes me so sad to not, that we're never gonna know, you know. I mean, it's just really sad. It really is. What a loss he was to music, and he inspired so many artists, and he will do now and into the future, definitely. But back to the song. The guitar riff is great. It runs throughout the song. The backing vocals of the band members singing Bad Habits too is great. So number 9, the last song on the album, is Heart Attack. The lyrics in this one are quite hitting actually. Yeah. The other members sing the same line Phil does at the same time. I quite like that. It's a great song all around, I think. So overall, what an album. It's mainly heavy. I knew a fair few of the songs, but yeah, it just, every time I listen to Thin Lizzy or do a bit more research, watch the videos, it just breaks my heart that Phil's not around anymore. I mean, he was 36. And every time I read that, even though I know it, it like hits me like the first time I read it. But he does live on, his music, I do believe that. Everything on the album is really good. The drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals are top notch, they really are. I think with Phil, how he played the bass, and being the singer and playing the bass, I don't know if that made the bass more obvious in the songs, but I definitely think the bass is very obvious. Sometimes it can get lost in songs, but with Thin Lizzy stuff, it's always, you can really hear it. I don't know if that is because Phil was playing it. I think, yeah, he was a good bass player. I mean, I'm sure I read or watched something, I don't know, where he just taught himself basically how to play bass. He did a good job. Yeah, I think with this album, it is quite heavier compared to other Thin Lizzy songs, albums. Obviously John Sykes was on this album. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But a lot of these songs on here are the kind of sound I really like, that heavy rock. And with me being a massive Whitesnake fan, I think probably John Sykes had a lot to do with me really like this album actually. I mean, he worked on songs like Children of the Night and Still of the Night for Whitesnake, which are up there for Whitesnake songs that I like. Now, I'm going to do a bit of an extra bit here. See, on a limited edition, there was some extra songs on this album. So you had Emerald and The Boys Are Back in Town, which I reviewed on the Jailbreak album review. So if you want to know my thoughts on those songs, go and check that review out, because there's no point repeating myself. And I'll probably end up saying something completely different what I said on the other video. There's some other songs that I haven't talked about, and one was Killer on the Loose. It didn't go down well at the time, because it was at the time that the Yorkshire Ripper was at large. Was it a good idea to release this song and the music video as well? If they'd released it at another time, would it have had such a bad reception? I don't think it would have had as a bad reception, but I still think it would have probably had a bad reception because of the lyrics. I think there's nothing wrong with singing about events, but I think it's the way the lyrics were wrote about this song which offended people. With Phil singing as if he was the killer. I think that was the issue there. But saying that, I listen to this song. I do. I do listen to it, let's say. I know it quite well. The instruments are top notch, vocally too. But I think maybe not as strong as other songs. But certainly Phil's voice is unique in this one, that's shown. The way he sings certain words with such grit, like anger almost. Again, I guess that's because he's trying to portray this killer in a way. A mention of Chinatown. Obviously, we've got a song called Chinatown, which I like. But yeah, I know there was a lot of controversy about this song. Yeah, but I'm just here to review the music, really. I mean, I've given me little thoughts on it there. And the next song, which is included on the limited edition, is Hollywood, Down on Your Luck. Now, I thought I hadn't heard of this one. I played it and I thought, of course I know this song. When you're down on it, oh, such a good song. Yeah, the guitar riff again is top notch. Vocally, it reminds me of Boys Are Back in Town. There's no let up on the drums. Brilliant. Then we get those kind of haunting keys in there. Fabulous, I wrote there, which actually you don't expect. It kind of just comes in. You're like, oh, okay. And you got that continuing riff running in the background, which is a great riff. The bass and the drums. It's a real jam. That's the word I'll describe it. I bet they had a really good time playing this live. For me, the highlight is Phil singing. I've brought singing a line because he does each time he changes the line he's singing lyrically, and then Snowy and Scott singing "When You're Down on Your Luck." That bit there. I really like that bit. You can't not sing that. You can't. If you know this song well and you're a Thin Lizzy fan, you can't not sing that. So yeah, that's my review of Thunder and Lightning. I definitely will be reviewing more Thin Lizzy stuff for sure. So looking to the future now, a couple of reviews ago, I said I was going to review Madonna's album, Like a Prayer. I think I mentioned it. I might not have done. I might be saying this and I don't even have to. But so I did listen to the album, but it wasn't the Madonna I like to listen to. It wasn't. And I did record a review and I thought, oh no, I'm just being really negative here, so I just decided not to post a video. However, I am going to do a pick and mix again, I've done before, of Madonna songs I like to listen to and review them. That's what I'm going to do instead. So I will be doing a review about that. And then I want to, again, do more 70s songs. I'm very 80s focused, but it is 70s and 80s talk. So I was thinking, I was thinking, who? And then it came to me, Generation X, who Billy Idol was in up until I don't know, 1979 or something like that. Then he went solo or something. I think it was then, about that time. So maybe a bit later, I don't know. But actually, Billy Idol put something on his Instagram the other day of him singing a Generation X song, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's great. When I was really getting into Billy Idol when I was at uni, and researching and watching all the videos, that's when I found Generation X, and yeah, I quite like them actually. They're quite different to what I'd normally listen to. They are more punk, but yeah, I do quite like them. I have listened to kind of stuff outside of the hits and the stuff that's more popular, and it gets a little bit, I don't know, maybe too away from what I like to listen to, I'd say. So again, maybe it will be more of a pick and mix review of them, of the songs that I like. So yeah, that's what to expect on the next reviews. I do want to do something with Bryan Adams, but I don't know which album to review. I don't know. But as we are approaching Christmas, I'm allowed to say that word, I will be doing a review of the best 70s and 80s Christmas songs, because of course most of the songs that are played at Christmas time are from that era, which I'm really glad about, because it's songs that I can pretend it's the 70s or the 80s and not actually 2022. So yep, that's that. So keep an eye out for reviews. They will get up, put up eventually, even if it takes quite a bit longer than the time between the previous reviews. I said in the last review that I've got lots of stuff coming up up until the next year, so I'm a bit busy. So thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. I hope you enjoy watching the World Cup, because I've been watching it all today and I've enjoyed watching it. Bye everyone.